Good morning. It is Thursday, December the 8th, 2022. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Good Morning St. Lucia Vibes at Sunrise. Of yours truly, Shannon LeBourne. We're coming to you live from Mount Daniel and Roseau, Dominica on this Thursday, the eve of the weekend. Still some time to go. We'll get you there in fine form. Coming up on this edition of the program, we'll hear from the leader of the main opposition here in Roseau, Dominica. We'll also hear from a former government minister and an independent candidate in last Tuesday's general elections. Perhaps, if time permits, we'll take you up to Trafalgar Falls for some exclusive scenes here this Thursday morning. Here's your invitation to continue to remain with us from now until 9 o'clock. 6:08 the time here in Roseau, Dominica, 6:08 in Castries and across the Eastern Caribbean. Your first news of the day with Shannon LeBourne comes up next.
The morning news, first news of the day, is sponsored by Quartz.
Good morning. Our top story this hour, the swearing-in ceremony for Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit was held on Wednesday afternoon in a State House in downtown Roseau. The oath of office was administered by the President of Dominica, His Excellency Anthony Severin. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit led his ruling Dominica Labour Party to a 6th consecutive win at the polls.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit, do swear.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit, do swear.
That I will faithfully execute the office of Prime Minister.
That I will faithfully execute the office of Prime Minister.
Without fear or favor.
Without fear or favor.
Affection or ill will.
Affection or ill will.
And that in the execution of the functions of that office.
And that in the execution of the functions of that office.
I will honor, uphold and preserve the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
I will honor and preserve the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Now the oath of allegiance. I, Roosevelt Skerrit, do swear.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit, do swear.
That I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
That I shall faithfully bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Oath of secrecy. I, Roosevelt Skerrit.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit.
Being called upon to exercise the functions of Prime Minister.
Being called upon to exercise the functions of Prime Minister.
In the Commonwealth of Dominica.
In the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Do swear.
Do swear.
That I will not directly or indirectly.
That I will not directly or indirectly.
Reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet.
Reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet.
Or the nature or content of any document.
Or the nature or content of any document.
Communicated to me in my capacity as Prime Minister.
Communicated to me in my capacity as Prime Minister.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So here.
Later we'll hear again from the President Anthony Severin and the Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit from yesterday's swearing-in ceremony. In St. Lucia now, the management and staff of the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards have met a compromise which has made an end to an impasse which saw staff down their tools twice in as many as 2 weeks. Now, the director is assuring citizens that the organization will continue to provide premier service. Kareem Nelson reports.
Workers at the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards stayed off the job for 2 consecutive working days due to what they say are outstanding health and safety concerns which were not being adequately addressed by management. 9 employees walked out on the job on Friday morning, blasting higher-ups for failing to meet recommendations outlined in the Labor Act concerning working conditions. The industrial action continued with a sick-out on Monday, 5th December 2022. Some of the deficiencies outlined by the workers who spoke under the condition of anonymity were lack of maintenance for deep cleaning, the absence of a fire evacuation plan, and a faulty AC unit. On May 11, 2022, the Labour Department conducted a visual inspection of the facility to confirm the aspersions. An occupational health and safety report was handed over to the SLBS management in October 2022, almost 6 months following the exercise. The document provided recommendations on the way forward, but claims that the department failed to implement them. On that basis, the Civil Service Association instructed the employees to exercise their rights under Section 263 of the Labour Act Cap 16.04, which led to Friday's walkout. However, SLBS Director Vernie Manuel says upon completing consultations with the Department of Labour concerning the findings of their investigations, measures have already been implemented to address the issues. Among those actions is the installation of air quality monitors in various offices around the SLBS. Following the withdrawal of Labour on Friday and Monday, the Hot 7 News team was invited by the SLBS director to the BZ headquarters to observe the working conditions. Upon arrival, we noted that the air quality monitors were up and running from Friday and the devices indicated good air quality readings. However, during the tour, management conceded that improvements could be made to the fire evacuation plan as the emergency exit was barred due to external nuisances. A follow-up inspection of the headquarters was scheduled for Tuesday, 6 December by the Labour Department. Earlier this year, staff took to the media to highlight their frustrations with the director's leadership style and other concerns. At the time, Chairman of the Standards Council categorized the news item as demonstrably false, malicious, and intended to misinform. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
In more news now, bus drivers on the Dennery Valley bus stand are fed up about an issue which they say have been forced on them for many years. At the heart of the issue is the location of the bus stand.
For many years, sea swells have flooded the bus terminal area designated to minibus operators plying the Dennery Valley route. During high tide, the waters rise quickly and in some instances render the bus stand completely unfit for use. In times like these, passengers are often forced to find alternative assembly areas to wait for a bus. The drivers themselves are forced to either obstruct traffic for passenger boarding or find other places to peg. Claudius, a bus driver on the bus stand, took the time to share some of his grievances with us.
The water has affected us there very much because when the tide is high, it comes up very much. It comes very steady, very frequently. It comes up and we cannot move. Okay, we always jam the traffic is always jammed because of this water. Now this water has been there for a number of years, which they need to do something about it.
Claudia says that the rising water causes chaos with traffic and poses a potential risk of damage to their buses. He also made mention that the relevant authorities have been made aware of the situation, but for many years their plight continues to be ignored.
About the communication on works knows about it that much, okay? And
have they been here to see it?
That I don't know of. But they knows about it. They knows the water rises. They know that we have to take our bus out of there when the water rises. We have no place to park the bus. They knows about that. And it causes a chaos. Okay, we have nowhere to park. Passengers even have to get out of the area because the water gets very high.
Hot 7 TV's news team toured the bus stand and witnessed firsthand a pool of stagnant water in the parking lot. More stagnant water was observed in what looked to be a drain at the entrance of the parking lot. The drain looked to be a breeding ground for mosquitoes and other bugs, which in itself poses a potential health risk to passengers and bus drivers alike. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Eldridge Charles.
The morning news, first news of the day, is sponsored by Quartz.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and you can find the season's best at Quartz. Save up to 50% store-wide, plus get free gifts with select purchases. Get the best brands, best prices, and more. Shop today with no cash and have 90 days to make your first payment, and choose your payment term from 3 to 48 months. The season's best is at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends December 31st, 2022.
Southwell Supermarket is celebrating their 14th anniversary and would like you, our valuable customers, to come celebrate with us and win big. To every $25 spent at any of our 3 locations entitles you to win cash, hampers, vouchers, and other giveaways. Grand prize, $14,000 in cash to be shared between 2 grand winners. 14 food hampers to be given to 14 lucky customers. That's right, as well as fuel vouchers, shopping vouchers, and other giveaways. Promotion ends 31st December 2022 and draw takes place 3rd January 2023. Southwell Supermarket, the right choice, the right price.
The morning news, first news of the day, is sponsored by Quartz.
Thanks for staying here. Let's get back to the news now. St. Lucia's health minister has said he's not surprised at the toll last Sunday's mass shooting incident has had on the island's healthcare services.
Clinical and support staff at the OKEU hospital were stunned on Saturday evening when they were quickly called to action to attend to over a dozen victims who required urgent medical attention following a mass shooting in Babonneau. In a press statement which followed the hospital's management of the situation, it was indicated that off-duty staff was summoned to assist with administering care. Additionally, the crisis is believed to have severely depleted the reserves of the blood bank, which prompted a call by the OKEU hospital for the donation of blood. Due to these circumstances, doubt has been sown regarding the health sector's capacity to sufficiently deal with a mass casualty event. While lauding staff at the OKEU hospital for their response, Health Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste lamented that large-scale tragedies will always exhaust the island's medical resources.
Well, any large-scale event, any mass casualty event will place pressure on any medical service. We saw what happened over the last weekend with the numbers that went into the Owen King EO Hospital and the way our medical professionals performed. I mean, it's admirable the way they performed and those people who went into surgery and how they were able to deal with that situation. So I'm proud of them. Obviously, any mass casualty situation would mean additional resources, it would mean additional personnel, and it would also mean medicines and pharmaceuticals will be under pressure. So yes, any mass casualty will put will place pressure on the system, but so far our professionals are doing the best that they can, and I really want to thank them on behalf of the people of St. Lucia.
Jean-Baptiste reiterates that these mass shooting events are completely preventable and therefore purveyors of crime should desist from participating in these heinous acts, as it places a tremendous burden on the healthcare sector.
But for me, the major concern is the pressure which has been placed on our doctors, our nurses, the janitors, the staff, and the security personnel at our health facilities. Certainly, all of St. Lucia, all of our energies have to be put into arresting this crime situation. But I want to make a special plea on behalf of our medical professionals who are on the strain.
Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
Thanks so much, Kareem. Local police are inching forward in this fight against the possession of illegal firearms. In fact, 2 individuals have been arrested in separate incidents.
On Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, about 11:45 p.m., officers attached to the Special Services Unit North were conducting routine patrols within the city when apparent gunshots were heard in the Hospital Road area. They proceeded to the location and subsequently arrested 21-year-old Jahim St. Lucia of Hospital Road for unlawful possession of firearm and ammunition, following the recovery of a magazine containing 8 rounds of ammunition and a Beretta pistol with a magazine containing 6 rounds of ammunition. St. Lucia was formally charged by officers attached to the Criminal Investigations Department and was escorted before the 1st District Court, where he was granted bail as follows: possession of firearm, $20,000 cash or suitable surety; possession of 8 rounds of ammunition, $16,000 cash or suitable surety; possession of 6 rounds of ammunition, $12,000 cash or suitable surety. Travel restrictions and reporting conditions were also applied as part of the defendant's bail conditions. Police are also reporting that about 9:20 p.m. on Monday, December 5th, 2022, officers attached to the Special Services Unit North were conducting mobile patrols in Marsha Castries when they encountered a motor scooter. The Pinion rider disembarked and attempted to flee. However, officers gave chase and arrested him. He was observed tossing an item into the nearby river. Officers searched the river and recovered a .38 pistol containing 3 rounds of ammunition. The suspect was escorted to the Criminal Investigations Department Castries and remains in police custody pending charges. An update will be provided in due course. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Eldridge Charles.
In other news now, the Philip JPL-led administration says it has secured in excess of $277 million from the Export-Import Bank of Taiwan. This loan is to finance the 2022-2023 budget.
From the last budget to now, the government has financed its operations basically from cash flow and basically from short-term borrowing on the regional securities market, Mr. Speaker. This is how the government has been financing its operations. So this is the first time that we are coming to the Parliament to borrow new money to finance the 2022-2023 budget, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre commits his 2022-2023 budget to support government programs, projects, and services which directly benefit St. Lucians.
This loan provides a rare opportunity to significantly alter the macroeconomic and social landscape of St. Lucia. The loan will assist the government and people of St. Lucia in dealing with 1. Economic recovery and growth; 2. Health expenditure; 3. Infrastructural programs; 4. Other recurrent expenditure. Mr. Speaker, more specifically, these funds will be utilized to reprofile expensive components of the central government's official public debt stock, fund social and capital projects, and eliminate some high levels of liabilities such as payables and outstanding amounts due to land acquisition and other efforts.
The Pierre administration's maiden 2022-2023 budget was passed in April. Some 8 months later, and for the first time since the budget was passed, the legislature on December 6 sought Parliament's approval to secure a $277.4 million loan from the Export-Import Bank of the Republic of China to finance this year's budget.
We've decided to allocate this loan, the $102 million US, in the following manner. $146.8 million to be allocated towards budgetary support in the fiscal year 2020-2023, of which $92.9 million will be allocated for recurrent expenditure, while the sum of $53.8 million will be allocated for capital expenditure. The sum of $42.6 million to economic recovery and growth, which include reduction in long-outstanding high-priority payables. The sum of $69.3 million for infrastructural programs, which includes settling long-standing high-priority land acquisition liabilities. The sum of $2.1 million for health response, and the sum of $105.9 million for recurrent expenditure to include payments to ensure the contribution of government operations in the provision of goods and services to the general public. Mr. Speaker, the terms and conditions of the loan are similar to other loans negotiated with the Exim Bank and is considered concessionary financing of the long-term type, Mr. Speaker.
Prudent fiscal policies employed by Prime Minister Pierre and implemented by his cabinet of ministers has deliberately minimized the need to take on new debt over the last 17 months. This first round of borrowing for the 2022-2023 budget will assist the government in meeting key fiscal objectives, which includes meeting recurrent and capital expenditure obligations and supporting government cash flows. Allocations have also been made to address outstanding payables owed to service providers.
At the end of November, November 2022, the stock of payables was $132 million. With the majority, Mr. Speaker, outstanding is, and the total 63, the majority of it was over 120 days. Inherit, Mr. Speaker, and totaling $63.5 million, or 48% of this debt. So these payables, Mr. Speaker, they've been there for a long time. They've been there for a very long time. So we are looking to see if we can use some of that money to pay down these payables, which will again help the local economy, because we are going to be paying these merchants and these suppliers that the government owes for a long time, Mr. Speaker.
The loan is repayable in 20 years, commencing from the date of the first disbursement, inclusive of a grace period of 5 years.
Commonwealth heads of government have declared 2023 as the year of the youth. St. Lucia will join the Commonwealth community in observance of this auspicious occasion. Kareem Nelson takes a closer look.
Back in July, leaders of the 54 Commonwealth countries demonstrated their commitment to tackling the endemic challenges facing children and young people. Their landmark declaration at the end of the two-day Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting comes on the heels of the devastating global pandemic that released a tsunami of health, education, economic, employment and safeguarding challenges, and aims to get youth development on track for global agreed development goal deadlines. Here in St. Lucia, these issues are mirrored, with the most pressing being the escalation of youth involvement in crime and youth unemployment. To this end, the local activities scheduled to mark the momentous Year of the Youth will maintain a sharp focus on mitigating crime in country.
The lead committee noted the surge in crime and gun violence in the country. Therefore, the emphasis for the Year of the Youth will be on safety, security, and peaceful coexistence. The theme emanates from one of the pillars of the National Youth Policy, which aims to empower young people and communities as agents of peaceful and safe national coexistence. Hence, a number of initiatives and activities will provide knowledge, skills, and practice that will prevent and reduce crime in communities.
While the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports forms the core committee, Local organizing committees will also be formulated for each constituency with the inclusion of the respective youth worker, District Youth and Sport Council, Students' Council, Social Transformation Officer, and a representative from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. They will be responsible for the planning and execution of activities within their jurisdictions. Casimir unveiled some of the national initiatives that will be embarked upon to promote youth development in the coming year.
Some of the activities on the calendar include the Peace Campaign Initiative to include TikTok challenges, jingle or song competitions, inter-district debates, district activities in terms of monuments to signal the celebration of the youth, presentation of the National Youth Policy and Action Plan, and the launch of Skilled 758 app, amongst other activities. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to call on all youth and sports organizations, uniform groups, faith-based groups, concerned youth activists, among others, to work together for an enduring initiative which will become a legacy for this declaration of the Year of the Youth.
The 2023 Year of the Youth will be held in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Commonwealth Youth Program. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
Finally, from us this hour, Christmas has come early for students of the Moshi RC Primary School. On Tuesday of this week, the students received a surprise from a benevolent corporate sponsor.
The Moshi RC Primary School received a surprise donation from Berkeley Bank and Trust, a privately held international bank based in St. Lucia with interests in Sweden and the United Kingdom. The donation goes towards the school's feeding program as well as two educational programs, namely the Conquer Maths and Conquer Computing programs respectively. The donation was presented to the school's principal on Tuesday, December 6 during the school's annual end-of-year service. The school's principal, Mr. Troy Nestor, says that he is extremely grateful that his school was chosen as the recipient of such generosity. He says the donation will go a long way towards bringing the school into the future.
The Berkeley Bank and Trust, they have made a donation to our school. Extremely pleased and proud of that. We have been looking at developing our students not only physically, spiritually, but also we need to ensure that the nourishment is there as well. And Berkeley Bank and Trust has made a donation towards our school feeding program so that we could have more readily available meals and to be able to sustain our students during the course of the day. In addition to that, they have also made a donation towards a program which is the Conquer Math program and also Conquer Computing program.
The Conquer Maths program is geared at helping students overcome the usual challenges associated with mathematics, while the Conquer Computing program will enable students to not only learn to use a computer, but to learn specialized computing skills.
With the Conquer Math, knowing that children throughout St. Lucia, they've had issues in terms of how to handle and how to deal with math. And there is this Conquer Math program, which we have partnered with Berkeley in providing to our students. And this would be asynchronous programs on using the computer. They also be dealing with a Conquer Computing program, which allows the children to use apps in developing apps themselves and being able to develop websites and so forth, so that our children, this is the way for the future. And indeed, we can trust that Berkeley Bank and Trust has provided us with a platform for that.
Today, the school was once again the recipient of generosity from a corporate sponsor. Cabot Care St. Lucia hosted a Christmas party for the entire school, a first for the learning institution. The organization has provided every child with a Christmas gift. Principal Nestor again expressed heartfelt thanks for the kind consideration shown to his students, remarking that Christmas had come early for the students of the Moshi Primary School.
We will be having, the first time we'll be having a school-wide Christmas party where every child at our school will be given their Christmas gift. And in addition to that, the children will be treated by a very good corporate sponsor, and that is the Cabot Cares group. And indeed, as I just said, that apart from ending of the year being how it is, we are quite thankful that Cabot providing our children with such wonderful gesture.
Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Eldridge Charles.
With that story, we've come to the end of the news. Your first news of the day with Shannon LeBourne.
The morning news, first news of the day, is sponsored by Quartz.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and you can find the season's best at Quartz. Save up to 50% store-wide, plus get free gifts with select purchases. Get the best brands, best prices, and more. Shop today with no cash and have 90 days to make your first payment, and choose your payment term from 3 to 48 months. The season's best is at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends December 31st, 2022.
All the time, the latest weather across St. Lucia next. For Thursday, December the 8th, the winds are blowing from between the west and north near 8 miles per hour or 13 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter and variable or calm at times. The weather generally fair skies with a low chance of showers. A low pressure system located to the northeast of the Leeward Islands will continue to cause light and variable winds across the eastern Caribbean region for the next few days. Once again, let's recap the weather. Generally fair skies with a low chance of showers. Low pressure system located to the northeast of the Leeward Islands will continue to cause light to variable winds across the eastern Caribbean region for the next few days. Weak instability associated with this system will cause a few cloudy periods with a brief isolated showers over parts of the Lesser Antilles during the next 24 hours. That's the latest weather provided by the Herrenor Meteorological Office in V4 St. Lucia. There is more online, www.slumet.gov.lc. You can also follow the latest on the weather hotline, 454-3452. A special and pleasant good morning to you if you are just joining us. Thank you so much for making us your choice on this Thursday, December the 8th. Stay with us next. The leader of the opposition here in the Commonwealth of Dominica will be my very special guest on this morning's program. There's a lot happening. I continue to invite you to remain with us from now until 9 o'clock.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and you can find the season's best at Quartz. Save up to 50% store-wide, plus get free gifts with select purchases. Get the best brands, best prices, and more. Shop today with no cash and have 90 days to make your first payment, and choose your payment term from 3 to 48 months. The season's best is at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends December 31st, 2022.
Southwell Supermarket is celebrating their 14th anniversary and would like you, our valuable customers, to come celebrate with us and win big. To every $25 spent at any of our 3 locations entitles you to win cash, hampers, vouchers, and other giveaways. Grand prize, $14,000 in cash to be shared between 2 grand winners. 14 food hampers to be given to 14 lucky customers. That's right, as well as fuel vouchers, shopping vouchers, and other giveaways. Promotion ends 31st December 2022 and draw takes place 3rd January 2023. Southwell Supermarket, the right choice, the right price.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Good morning, St. Lucia. Vibes at sunrise. An informative, enlightening, stimulating package. It can be taken as your morning cup of tea. Fortuna Anthony endorsing Vibes in the Morning.
The sun is on the rise above Roseau, Dominica this morning. I'm sure similar across Castries and over in St. Lucia. We're coming to you live from Mont Daniel in Dominica this hour on this Thursday, December the 8th. Thanks for waking up and making us your choice. Lots happening on the platform this morning, so let's head right into it. My first guest this hour, the leader of the main opposition United Workers Party here in St. Lucia. Second time on the platform, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Good morning and welcome. Thanks for agreeing to come on.
Very good morning, Steve, and to my listeners. I'm happy to be back again today.
Yes. 2 days now after quite a unique general election in the Commonwealth of Dominica, Prime Minister has been sworn in. Before we get your review on the election itself, let me just share some figures and then I'll question you on those. On Tuesday the 6th of December, Dr. Thompson, you had some 21,000 voters showing up. That's a reduction of 19,000 from 2019, where you had 40+ thousand voters casting ballots in 2019. In this general election, 17,400 electors supported the Dominica Labour Party. That's compared to over 23,000 in 2019. The independent voters got some 3,200 votes as well. When you look at the numbers which we have just shared, the low voter turnout that is apparent looks like just about 28% of the voting population showed up, as opposed to 55% just 2 years ago. Was this vote on the 6th of December a vote of no confidence in the ruling administration?
Absolutely. I think that's one that shows. It also points to the fact that it's probably not the big sense that it's a minority government. And also points to the fact that our boycott was largely successful because we asked the persons to stay away from the polls as a protest in the lack of electoral reform. And I think those numbers have just reflected both our campaign has been successful and the message has gone up very clearly to the government of Dominica need electoral reforms.
Now, given those low numbers, and we'll take a look at the constituency